So, three possible predictions for Japan in the year coming up, 2026. One possible prediction is that Japan could go into an early election in its lower house. This is because Sanai Takachi has incredibly high poll ratings, but at the same time, the party she leads, the LDP, are at a historic low ebb in terms of the number of seats, meaning they're dependent on Ishin for a coalition to keep them in power. So it'd be very tempting for her to go for an early election in order to reclaim a majority on their own without Ishin. This is reinforced by the fact that I've observed there's some possible tension already, early tension between the coalition, that might make it easier for the LDP to be able to go on their own. And given the fact that, as I say, Sanai Takachi has this high poll rating, it'd be very tempting for her in the year ahead to capitalize on that, possibly once she's got some sort of early success, or if she thinks her poll rating is consistent, she might go for an early election in order to secure that majority. A second prediction, the Japanese yen will continue to struggle and continue to be low against the US dollar and the euro. Now, the Japanese yen is already at a bit of a low ebb at the moment compared to years past against the euro and the dollar. But I think this could continue, given that Sanae Takachi may have possibly a tendency to pursue an Abenomic policy. She might be tempted to do that and to effectively take on more debt or print money in order to spur on growth in the Japanese economy. There's also been speculation that she could possibly do one of the above for in order to increase funding in the military in Japan, given geopolitical tensions. In any case, if she were to pursue possibly a policy of printing or more money or taking on more debt, that could further secure the difficulty compared to other currencies. Be very good for Japan's exports, of course, but could make the cost of living and the resulting other problems with that a bit more difficult. Thirdly, following on from that prediction about a low yen, I think that despite the fact that there's been tensions with China and the Chinese government have made efforts to cut off the amount of Chinese tourism going to Japan, and despite that, I think there's still going to be very high levels of tourism just because of the incredible draw of Japan as a cultural center. There's a high interest in people going there. So Japan might not continue to break tourism records in the way they have been doing, but I think interest and the amount of tourism will remain high, partially driven by the interest in going to Japan, but also because of the incredibly low yen, which makes going to Japan quite affordable. So I think that will continue in spite of this Chinese tension and a possible resulting drop off in Chinese tourism. I think overall tourism will still remain high. Those are just my speculation on some predictions for Japan in 2026.